Breaking news. December 5th, NCAA is proposing a new division, a subdivision, that, well, basically grants the ability of the schools to direct money, compensation to the student athletes, no salary cap. Schools can opt in, opt out, a new subdivision in college athletics. Welcome to episode 340 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Flugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our ever-growing channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. We're not going to waste any more time on this. Since episode 1 of this YouTube channel, we talked about the new world of college football. College athletics is going to be direct payments from the schools and conferences, both going to the student athletes. And that is what is changing everything. That is the straw that has been stirring the drink. That is why Oklahoma and Texas called Sankey. That is why USC called the Big Ten. On and on and on. It's this issue. Charlie Baker, NCAA, Yahoo Sports. Ross Dellenger broke it this morning. This week is a big week in college athletics, especially college football. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. NCAA proposing new college athletics subdivision rooted in direct athletic compensation. We will provide a link in the description. You can read the whole thing. We're going to go through the whole thing. Please put down your comments and thoughts in the comment section below the video. We will be doing a live show later today. This is going to be the stake of the live show. If this happens, and we thought this was going to happen for quite a long time here at PATC, it changes everything. Ross Dellenger. Of the many recent changes in college athletics, the most transformative and revolutionary may be on the way. NCAA President Charlie Baker is planning to introduce this week a proposal to create new subdivision with Division I that grants certain schools more autonomy around policy making and permits them to compensate athletes in a new and profound way. In a letter sent to Division I members and obtained by Yahoo Sports, Baker outlines a groundbreaking and radical change to the NCAA Division I athletics model, describing it as a new forward-looking framework. According to Baker's proposal, schools that choose to be part of the new subdivision, they can opt in or out, are required to meet a strict minimum standard rooted in athlete investment. They can opt in, opt out, but are required to meet a strict minimum standard rooted in athlete investment. Members of the new subdivision will be permitted to strike name, image, and likeness NIL deals with their own athletes. A significant move away from current NIL structure. A school themselves, now they can strike the deal on name, image, and likeness deals with their own athletes. However, that's not even the biggest part of this. However, the most impactful benefit of this new model is a framework in which schools can directly compensate athletes through a trust fund. Schools within the new subdivision will be required to distribute to athletes thousands of dollars in additional educationally related funds without limitations. There will be no salary cap. There is no cap in the amount of funds that a program can provide an athlete. It is perhaps the single most revolutionary concept introduced by sitting NCAA leader in college athletics history. Quote, it kickstarts a long overdue conversation among the membership that focuses on the differences that exist between schools, conferences, divisions, and how to create more permissive and flexible rules across the NCAA that put student athletes first, Baker writes in the letter. Colleges and universities need to be more flexible, and the NCAA needs to be more flexible too. Holy smokes! An NCAA spokesman When reached, declined comment about the letter. The proposal is a culmination of months-long review that Baker and the staff conducted. One of his top priorities after taking over for Mark Emmert in March. Several high-ranking athletic administrators were previously briefed on the model, but were not provided specifics until the letter arrived. Entry into the subdivision requires the school to invest at minimum $30,000 per year per athlete. $30,000 per year per athlete into what is termed an enhanced educational trust fund per athlete. Women's, men, revenue producing sport, non-revenue producing sport, $30,000 per athlete in what is termed as an enhanced educational trust fund for at least half of the school's countable athletes. Schools would determine what athletes receive the amount, which for four-year athletes would total at least $120,000. Schools must continue to abide by the framework of Title IX, assuring that 50% of the investment will be directed toward women athletes. So it's at least half of the schools accountable. At least half. A lot of these schools are going to go the whole way. A lot of these schools are going to go the whole way. The new subdivision will remain under the umbrella of the NCAA, and its members will continue to compete for NCAA championships with others in Division I. Under the proposal, the NCAA maintains oversight of the existing national championship models across all Division I sports, except FBS football, which continues to operate under the rubric of the College Football Playoff. Baker writes in the letter. Let's go over that again. Under the proposal, the NCAA maintains oversight of the existing national championships, except for college football. But this, of course, we're just going to call it trust fund, no salary cap, athletics being paid directly by the school. That, of course, engulfs football as well. Schools in the new subdivision will also gain control of decision-making around scholarship limits and accountable coaches. The NCAA's way of handing major conference programs the freedom to increase the limits or do away with them altogether. Boy, I got a lot to say about that. It won't be captured in this episode. Unlimited scholarship limits. Right now it's 85 in football. It will be no longer 85. That means Ohio State can go to 120 because they have the money. Holy smokes. The model gives the educational institutions with the most visibility, the most financial resources, and the biggest brands an opportunity to choose to operate within a different set of rules which more accurately reflect their scale and their operating model, he writes. Holy smokes. Baker's model is an anticipated step toward the long ballyhooed separation of the NCAA's high revenue producing athletic departments from their lower resource brethren. While all schools are eligible to join the subdivision, the proposal would likely force a formal split within the football bowl subdivision of the Power 5, soon to be the Power 4 conferences of the SEC, Big 10, ACC, and Big 12. The proposal is not meant as a final product ready for legislative approval, but is more of a conversation started to end product that could look vastly different. The proposal is expected to be leading topic at the gathering of the athletic administrators in Las Vegas this week, as well as the NCAA convention in mid-January. Boy, this is the implications of what's going on in Holy Smokes Theater and the ACC. Baker himself is scheduled to speak in Las Vegas on Wednesday as part of the Sports Business Journal Annual Summit. The growing financial gap between the highest resource colleges and universities and other schools in Division I has created a new series of challenges, Baker writes. The challenges are competitive as well as financial and are complicated further by the intersection of name, image, and likeness opportunities for student athletes and the arrival of the transfer portal. We're going to skip the next paragraph. We're going to go down here. The new subdivision provides schools a pathway to an alternative to compensation from current NIL structure, what is built around third-party booster-led collectives, distributing millions to athletes under the guise of endorsement and commercial deals. While the NCAA will still deem pay-for-play impermissible, the proposal gives the programs, the institutions, the athletic departments, the coaches more control, lifting the restrictions placed on the school's involvement with NIL and allowing them to bring NIL within their jurisdiction. The proposal is short on details and specifics on the NIL concept, only saying rules should change for any Division I school at their choice to enter their name, image, and likeness licensing opportunities with their student athletes. In a sense, this would allow institutions to purchase the NIL rights of their athletes, a concept suggested by athletic administrators over the last several years. The trust fund is an entirely separate concept. A school depositing a minimum of $30,000 each per year athlete for half of the athletes would spend about $6 million a year. Schools would not be required to deposit the same amount for each athlete. So basically, this is what we've been talking about. Higher compensation for the student athletes coming from the schools. Basically a contract. The model leaves that to the discretion of the institution. The model is introduced as the NCAA major conference of schools are in the midst of settlement negotiations over what could be one of the most costly and impactful antitrust cases in college sports history, House versus NCAA. We're not going to go through that right now, but that's basically it, ladies and gentlemen. There's more to the article. We will provide a link in the description. You can read the whole thing. Basically, NIL in-house to the institutions. The schools can also basically, through trust funds, no salary cap, direct compensation to the student athletes, and it has to be at least half of the athletes that are under scholarships for the schools, $30,000 per athlete per school, and it can be more, much more. It's going to be much more for many of the athletes in the athletic department. This is now, whatever happens here, whatever gets decided on, isn't going to look exactly what Charlie Baker proposed. But this is the new world we've been talking about at Peek Around the Corner, giving you the best peek around the corner here in the college football business. This is what we talked about in episode 1. This was our manifesto. This is going to happen. The exact shape, the exact form, the exact model, we do not know. We don't even know today, but it's happening. Now, in my brain, right away, I'm thinking of trust fund, no limitations. What if Harvard? What if Harvard? What if the Ivy League schools want to get into this? That's just one of the many thoughts percolating right now as I read this article this morning. Put down your thoughts and what's percolating in your brain as we go through this article. We're going to be talking about this later today on a live show. No salary cap college football, no salary cap college football, no salary cap college hockey, no salary cap volleyball, no salary cap women's hockey, no salary cap wrestling. Holy smokes, buckle up, brace for impact. Until next time, and it's going to be later today. Until next time, from all of us at PATC to all of you, please, you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.